Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It is Heart DFS. For those of you that are new, welcome. Please hit the like button, please subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. I do appreciate all you guys' support. I make daily NBA price pick videos as well as daily NBA slate breakdowns on Draftkings. So a lot of good content for you guys to enjoy. So definitely check out my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Heart DFS. Do some giveaways, but mostly put up price pick plays, my extra plays, my DFS core plays for like the Showdown. A lot of good stuff. So definitely make sure to follow me on Twitter. We're 5 out of 7 the past 2 days in price picks. We went 3 out of 3 and then 2 out of 4 yesterday. So not bad. Looking to keep the winning streak going. And yeah, so follow me there, Heart DFS. And then let's get into my lineup from last night. I told you guys that I like to get risky, so I like to go in with Poole at captain. He had a good first quarter / second quarter with 9 points, a few assists, but then he scored some points, but really didn't do much peripheral stat wise. Steph kind of had a great game. Everyone else kind of did okay, and then the Mavs got blown out. So Kuminga did get some run, but it was at the end. It looks like he's not going to play unless Looney gets in like foul trouble or he gets hurt, or something else happens. But it looks like he's not going to play. But everyone else, Wiggins talked about how I really liked him in this game. He did really well. But the game blew out, so the Mavs players really didn't get you there. I think I missed cash by like 10 points, so nothing too huge. Let's see what the winning lineup was. Winning lineup was Steph. As I talked about, if you want to go the optimal route, it's either Steph or Luka. So it was Steph, Brunson, Draymond, Wiggins, Otto, and Looney. So what was that? A 5-1 stack. So 5 Warriors, one Mav won it. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, that's winning lineup. Nothing too crazy. Looking to get back into the winning circle for today. So we got another Showdown slate. As I said, all these are going to be Showdown slates unless you play like the 2-day lineup. But I'm going to be doing the Showdown slate breakdowns. If we look at the last game, obviously Miami won. Boston got off to a good start in that first quarter, and then Miami kind of chipped away at the lead, and I think they took like an 8-point lead into halftime. And then they came out on fire in the third quarter, really blew out Boston, and kind of just made it really not a game the rest of the third and fourth quarter. And that was all led by Jimmy Butler. As we can see, 12 of 19, 41 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, 4 steals. Did everything, 72 fantasy points. A little bit of an outlier. He was kind of floating between that like 60, 50 fantasy point range, but had 4 steals and 3 blocks. As I say, Jimmy's the heart and soul of this team. They're just riding him through the playoffs. He's delivering. So, I don't have a problem going back with him. But as we saw at the beginning of the game, if he starts off slow, guys like Tyler Hero coming off the bench are going to pick it up. And Bam was slow as well. Strus wasn't doing much, so it set up to be a good game for Tyler Hero. He came off on fire off the bench, scored some points, got some rebounds, some assists, and then Jimmy kind of took over. So I think it's, getting to those secondary guys is only viable if Jimmy Butler's having a bad game. And I'm not sure if that's going to happen. He's been on an unbelievable streak in these playoffs. As you can see, 41 points, 32, 23, 40, 33, 22, 15, 36, 20, 45. So it's hard not playing Jimmy and fading him. So I do think it's the safest thing to do is just play him. Tatum looks great at 10-6. Kind of, a decent game. Everyone thought he was going to do bad. Shot it 21 times. Obviously, they were kind of down like 15-ish the rest of the second half. But I think it's a good spot for Tatum, 10-6. I think he proves that PJ Tucker defense is not going to hold him back at all. He's a guy, he did hit some tough shots, but he can shoot the 3, he can drive, he can do mid-range. So I'm not afraid of the Miami Heat defense on Tatum at all. Jaylen Brown kind of disappeared for a little bit last game. Finished with 45 fantasy points, which is nice, but he really didn't start picking it up until like the third quarter where he hit a few shots, but I like going back to him as well. Bam going to be super he's going to be super low owned today. As we can see, just a terrible game. He would have got like 18 fantasy points if he took away like 2 blocks and kind of had his normal like 1 or 2 blocks a game. Like, he's just been playing so bad. I don't even understand why. Like, it's not like, Robert Williams is a good defender, but it's not like he's keeping Bam from, holding Bam from having a good Bam game. Bam's just been very inconsistent in this playoffs, and it shows the past 3 games. 25 fantasy points, 24, 23, 10-4 with 4 blocks, 10-8. I mean, I know Jimmy's picking it up, and Bam really doesn't have to do a lot, but it's going to be super low owned today. So if you want to go there at 8-4, it's pretty expensive for a guy who's thrown up like 22 fantasy point games. But he's a guy that's should average 35 fantasy points a game, if not more. So I do like going to Bam for low ownership. Al Horford is highly unlikely to play tonight, so we have to keep an eye on that news, but don't think he'll play. Marcus Smart is probable. I don't know if there'll be a minutes limit. I don't think so. They're going to really need him. So I do expect him to play probably 35 minutes, hopefully, if the injury is not too, if it's not as bad as we think, hopefully he plays 35 plus minutes. Do really like him. He'll be super popular today just because he'll probably play the whole game. So I really like him as a captain for today. Not super contrarian, but he does have that upside into the 40, 50 fantasy point range if he's hitting the threes, stuff in the stat sheet, which he's done previously against Miami. Tyler Hero, once again, I will mention him as a good captain play just because there's a path for him to have a really good game off the bench. He shoots the most on the team, and even more than Jimmy. I know that during these playoffs, I think it's kind of flip-flopped where Jimmy shoots now more than Tyler, because Tyler's done, okay during the playoffs, but I do think Tyler's definitely viable in the captain spot. Strus, okay play. He's going to play probably 30 minutes, maybe a few more. Just comes down to hitting his shots. He hit him last game, but wasn't too involved offensively. So it looks like an okay mid-range play. Robert Williams, really like Robert Williams. As I said, he's a guy who can stuff the stat sheet. He was doing well scoring the ball, 18 points, which is, a little bit of an outlier. I don't know the last time he's gotten 18 or more points in a game. Back in basically Christmas. So that is definitely an outlier. Maybe that's something they try to exploit more. Definitely keep that in mind. But I love him just for the fact that he can stuff the stat sheet with rebounds, assists, and blocks, and some steals. So 62 looks pretty good for Robert Williams. Grant Williams looks okay. As I said, Miami can stay with him a lot better than the Bucks could. And so Grant Williams shot 2 of 5, only had 7 points. Was in some foul trouble, so he did lose, maybe a few minutes. I mean, he still played 34, but maybe he was less aggressive because of that. But he's just pretty much out there just to shoot threes. I think Miami's way better at staying with him than the Bucks were. So I'd say he's just more of like a dart throw for me. I don't mind going back to Victor. Kyle Lowry's still out. He played 15 minutes, didn't shoot the ball well at all, 2 of 9. He will be involved, can do some peripheral stats, can get some steals. So don't mind running back with Victor. Maybe he'll lose some ownership just because of the bad performance, back-to-back bad performances. But he should see 15 plus minutes if he's hitting the shots. Pritchard's going to be super popular today, and for good reason. Derek White got ruled out for a personal reason. I think his wife had a baby, so he's back home for that. But we saw Pritchard 30 minutes, 6-16, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Maybe he doesn't score as much today, but he's a guy that's going to come in and shoot the ball. He can shoot the 3 well. He can, create his own offense if he needs to. He's a good dribbler, good shooter. So I do like Peyton Pritchard because if this game doesn't blow out, he's going to get some run still. So I do like him. He'll probably be super, super high on today, like 80%, but I like going to Peyton. I do think you guys should lock him in today. And then PJ Tucker, just a secondary play for me. The price is down low. He can get you into the mid-20s range if he's hitting his shots and rebounding well, but just kind of disgusting play. I don't like playing PJ Tucker at all. Gabe Vincent looks decent. Should see the minutes. Shot the ball well, which you do like to see. 17 points. 3 blocks, it did give him extra 6 points. He's not a guy who's going to get you 3 blocks. Maybe you can take 2 of those away or all 3 and just give him a steal. So that did give him an extra 6 points. Probably would be around that 23 to 25 fantasy point range. That's what you can kind of expect him at. And then Dedmon, going to see probably 15 minutes. I don't mind if you want to take a shot on him at the mid-2000. Maybe Bam is, playing terribly again, maybe he gets in foul trouble, they're going to run with Dedmon. So I don't mind, taking the shot on Dedmon as some a low and dart throw play. Same thing with Tice. He saw 20 minutes, shot really well, 8, 4, 2, and 1 in 20 minutes, which is a little unexpected for Tice. He's a decent player coming off the bench offensively. He is open for some lobs, for some dump off. So I guess he is viable as a dart throw, but I'd rather go to Dedmon just because his minutes are a little bit safer. But definitely keep those two in mind if you want to get a little bit different. But today, do think you need to lock in Pritchard and Vincent just as some low value plays, and that means you could jam in guys like Jimmy and Tatum, maybe even Bam, Brown. I mean, it just comes down to if you want to go the optimal route, which would be basically Jimmy, Tatum, maybe Brown as captain, or if you want to get different and put in guys like Bam, Smart, Hero. And then if those guys do well, you're set up to win a lot of money. You're probably not going to split with 400 other people, which is going to be the case for most nights, just due to how many optimal ways there are to win. It's mostly going to come down to Tatum and Butler. If they're having their normal games, they're going to be the most optimal captain, most likely. So it just comes down if you want to go the classic route or if you want to get contrarian. I always like getting contrarian. A lot of times, obviously, it doesn't work, but that's just the route I go for the one time that it does hit, and then I do win all the money. So it just comes down to you guys' personal preference. So yeah, that is kind of just it. I mean, at this point in the playoffs, everyone kind of knows who's doing what, who's good, who's a good play, who's not a good play. So I kind of just like talking through them, kind of showing you guys my route of how I make these decisions, the round I'm going today. So I do like Pritchard and Gabe Vincent a good amount today. I think I'm going to roll with Marcus Smart as captain, just because, he should see 35 minutes if he's not limited, maybe even more, maybe closer to 40. He can score the ball well if he's hitting his shots. If not, he's not afraid to start passing the ball a ton, rebound, get blocks and steals. So if he gets you, mid 30s, even close to 40 fantasy points at captain, I do think that sets you up for a pretty good night, especially if you have some of these value plays, and then you can jam in guys like Butler and Tatum. So I don't mind it. It just comes down if you guys want to get different or if you want to go the classic route. So if you could leave this video a like, comment, subscribe, do appreciate all the support, and I'll see you guys in the next video for an NBA slate breakdown. But yeah, I'm gonna go with this, and I think this is pretty much the route I'm gonna go. Maybe I'll take out one of these guys and put in like a Brown or Tatum or maybe even Bam. But this is what I'm liking so far, and I hope you guys have a good day. See you in the next video. Peace.